Pistol defense counterattack 7. You're handcuffed, kneeling with a pistol to the front of your head. Not a good spot to be in. Yet there's always a way. That's what we'll answer in today's video. Hi, I'm Dylan, leader of Phantom Force. We're a mercenary team, yet we're not for hire. We've taken a long-term contract with some Hollywood executives to make movies. They wanted to bring more realism to films, and we agreed. So if you love action movies and like to see some of our work, simply click on the link below this video to watch some great action movies for free. It's paid for by our awesome sponsors. Enough of that for now. Our team specializes in helping military personnel, law enforcement, politicians, and civilians in high-risk areas survive life-threatening situations with proven real-world tactics for real-world situations. Each week we share another, what others would describe as seemingly impossible situation, with a simple, time-tested, combat-proven technique for overcoming it. Let's get right to it. Pistol defense counterattack 7. You're handcuffed, kneeling with a pistol to the front of your head. Side note, all the techniques that we share with you are taken from the martial arts system that we're trained in, CBT, Commando Battle Tactics. Okay, so hopefully this situation never happens to you. Now, if you say someone has abducted or they've taken you hostage, they've abducted you or taken you hostage, if you know the cavalry is coming, you may decide just to sit tight and wait. If you know that there is no cavalry coming, then we're going to share with you one possible solution. So first we're going to demonstrate the counterattack technique, then we'll explain the strategy on why it works, and then finally how it works. This is important. All right, Cypher, another member of our team, will be the attacker. Cypher is finishing up another assignment, so for now we'll keep his identity concealed. Okay. No. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Stop. On your feet. We'll do that from the other side. You can see it from both angles. Then we'll explain what just happened. Again, handcuffed, kneeling, pistol to the front. No. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Okay, so we're going to share with you the strategy on why it works. And this is important because you have to have confidence in the technique when you're doing it. If you don't understand why it works, you won't do it. It's not about having a bunch of fancy techniques that look really flashy and look awesome. It's about having things that you kind of know when you first see it, you can do that. With minimal amount of practice, you'll get it and it'll stay with you. And if that, hopefully, again, that situation never comes about, if it does, you know it's going to be there for you. All right. So the first thing we're going to address, though, is the handcuff situation. That's not good. All right. So with a handcuff situation, it could be handcuffs, it could be some type of binding with cordage or something like rope, or extension cord, or duct tape or something that they've used to bind you with. Now, what we're going to do in the technique, what you do is we pull both hands together like this. This simulates being bound. And then we take one hand and like pinch fingers. We pretend like we have like a saw or something in our hand, and we saw up and down like this on the other wrist. And then that cuts through the cordage or picks the lock. And then we finish here with both hands pointing out like this. What this does is simulates conquering the handcuff or the binding. Now we're going to do a separate video on how to overcome how to conquer handcuffs and binding. And usually it's things like, the way when they initially handcuff you, little things you can do. There are putting handcuff keys and spring steel, little pieces of hacksaw blades in strategic places in the soles of your shoe and your belt. Again, we'll do another video just on that. For when we practice the technique, always start from here with both hands grabbing the opposite wrist. Then one hand pretends like it has like a little hacksaw or something. Motions like this. cuts through, and then you finish like this. And that's what you're going to see me doing in a moment when I do the technique. So both of my hands will be behind my back like this. That lets us know that we're now ready to engage and launch our counterattack. All right, that's what we're going to do now. All right, so again, you'll see me go here, see a little hand motion, and then bam. That's what happened in the very beginning. Now, something important to know. There are 5 things, key things to know with this technique. The first thing is that there's only one instantly lethal end of the firearm. That's right here. That's where the round comes out of. Yet literally this, you're alive, this, you're alive, this, you're killed. And we'll do it again from this angle so you can see it in the camera. This, you're killed. This, you're alive. This, you're alive. This, you're killed. It's important to understand that because, true, there are other things that come out of the end of the barrel. There's a muzzle flash, there's all types of hot gas, there's even a hot casing that'll jump out. Yet, you know, maybe you'll get singed, maybe you'll be partially deaf, you'll be alive. So the thing to understand is you don't need to be all the way over here to survive. All it takes is this motion, you know, for you to be able to survive. So that's the most important thing to know. So the second thing is when you don't want there to be any collateral damage. That means you don't want any other innocent bystanders, you know, being harmed when you're counterattacking. It might be kids around, or you know, couples, or some people walking around, and you don't want the rounds going into them, because then you're still not the hero, even though you may survive this thing. So there's only 3 places that the pistol should ever point when you're counterattacking. 1 is to the sky, 2 is into the ground, and 3 is into them. Those are your only 3 acceptable places that the pistol should point whenever you're launching a counterattack. And 1 is the sky, 2 is into the ground, or 3 is into them. Okay? So what you're going to notice is when we do the techniques, you're going to notice it's going to do exactly that. So you always want to be aware of where the round goes. And by the nature of the technique, it addresses that. All right, the third part of the technique is a strategy that we employ which prefaces the technique. This is called distract attack. You think of it like, you know, you distract, and on a half beat, you launch your attack. This is important because if you just try to launch into a technique, you most likely will get shot because the person is ready for you. Their mind is focused on, you know, this pistol being in your face and shooting you, right? So you never want them focused on doing something to you. You always want them distracted. So with distract attack, we always say something or do something. It could be asking them a question. The question is a good one because it gets them thinking. Then they have to reply to the question, and you strike in that moment. Or it could be even making a statement and doing a gesture, like a double take in another direction, which makes them look in that direction, which is what we're going to use here. What this is leveraging is something that we call SIA, S-I-A, which stands for See, Identify, Act. And there's a time lag that the human mind always goes through. First, it has to see what it is, what's going on. Then it has to identify what's happening. Here's a counterattack. And then it has to determine the action and then take a course of action. We've always learned it this way. It's calling it SIA. In some military circles, they refer to it as the OODA loop. You know, whichever way you prefer is fine. You know, both you still accomplish pretty much the same thing. So with this one, we're going to use a double take strategy. Oh, and one last thing I want to note with the over conquering the handcuffs. Usually, you don't just wind up in this situation. If they've abducted you or taken you hostage, you've had, you know, all kinds of time before it gets to this point. So if you're already bound from the place they abducted you from, that's when you want to be going to work on those handcuffs and the rope. You don't want to wait till you're here, like we're doing in a technique, again, and then start, you know, working on your bindings. This, again, is just for practice. Yet you have plenty of time from the time they abduct you to the time you get to this point to conquer those handcuffs or the bindings. So just know that, all right? All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do the actual distraction and then the actual attack, and you'll observe how this actually works. Now, just so you know, most people sharing combat techniques on YouTube are usually promoting a school or an upcoming event. Yeah, we have nothing for sale. Not us. We don't do that. Everything's taken care of by our sponsors. They provide anything from weapons and accessories, gear, equipment, travel, guided tours, and more. Definitely, you know, check out their the links below this video. So let's say, you know, they're there and they've tried to ransom you, and people are like, hey, we're not going to meet your demands. And they come up to you and say, time for you to die, right? And so what you can do is just this. No, And then when you look that way, hey, for all they know, it could be a rescue team coming in, the cavalry's coming, anyone, you know, your partner, something like that. And that's all you need. And that's when you're going into action. I'll do another one. So let's say they just want information from you. And they say, you know, give me the information. And you go, okay, okay. And you get them to look. Now, the moment they look, now remember, so we already undid our handcuffs and our hands are already here behind our back. The moment they do this, the left hand comes up and grabs the slide of the pistol. Works the same on a revolver. And it moves it off to the side to about where your shoulder is. So if you're here, you see in the camera, it's in my face, it moves it here. And we talked about before the instantly lethal end of the pistol. So this stays here and does not move. So it grabs the pistol and holds it right there. The right comes up, and right here with the palm, the meaty portion of your palm, hits or strikes the inside of their wrist. And this finishes to your opposite shoulder. So the way it looks is you have one going to the shoulder, one going to the shoulder. That's how it looks. And what will happen is actually we'll strip the pistol. So when it comes up here, see that? That's all it takes. It's in their hand right here. It comes up, grabs the pistol. This goes to the left shoulder, this goes to the right shoulder. From this point, all you do now, don't do this, right? Don't muzzle yourself. You're going to come up here with the other hand, turn it around, and then that's when you're going to fire. So you're going to observe me do that technique. That's how the motion actually looks. Very simple, very fast disarm. Here, smack, and then boom. Then we'll take it up to that point. Okay? Again? No. Right? Very quick. Now from here, I go here. Now here's the key portion. This is number 4, step 4. Right here, we could fire and turn the whole situation around. Yeah, what can happen is, I mean, they were distracted for like a fraction of a second. And this is definitely going to cause them to be alarmed. And they may come up and try to hit you or obviously try to grab the pistol back. And go ahead and grab the pistol. You don't want to be in a wrestling match at this point. They might be stronger. You might have been abducted for a while and be weak. So what you do is you want to change your lines of zone. So from right here, you're going to drop to the ground. And when you do so, you're going to scissor your legs and land on your shoulder blade. So observe how this looks. So as we lay back, see the left foot here, the left foot comes there with the outer blade touching the ground. And the right foot is bracing yourself and you land it on the shoulder blade. The key thing is that the energy is dispelled, or dispersed rather, through the leg scissors. Because if you don't do that and you just fall back, all that momentum will transfer into your shoulder blade, the pistol will bounce around, even your feet can roll up like this, right? That's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is if you don't do that and you come down firing, you shoot yourself in the foot. So if you're here and you go, oh, bang, you just shot yourself in the ankle and blew your own foot off. That's why you want to make sure when you do this technique and you're here, that your leg scissor, that outer blade of the foot is on the ground, this is braced here, and your foot is out of the line of fire. The third reason, which is the most important as well, is that you stay on target. So if you're here and fall back, lose control, you're off target. Yet when you scissor, it keeps your center line right here in front of them, and it keeps you on target the whole way. So you can be firing the whole way down. Yeah, we're not going to. With this, you're going to fire once you have a stable position on the ground. And few people want to dive on you or charge you when you have a pistol pointing at them and you're firing. If anything, if there's even time for them to even know what's going on, they usually will do something else. So from here, from this position, we go back and we fire. When we go to number 5, the 5th part of the technique is called a double tap. Now, a double tap means that you aim the pistol, the front side of the pistol on the target, and you pull the trigger twice. Something else called a controlled pair, which we won't get into now. Use that more at a greater distance. At close quarters, a CQB, you can use double tap. The targets are going to be the abdomen and then also the brain case. Now the reason why is because if someone is charging you, you can shoot them in a lot of targets and it may not stop the charge. Yet when you shoot them in the abdomen, especially with a double tap, it causes them to buckle forward. Demonstrate. Boom, like that. And it helps to break the momentum of the charge. So you're going to do 2 double taps. The first one into the abdomen, cause them to buckle forward. The second one to the brain case, which puts them down. And that's what you're going to observe me do with the rest of the technique. So we'll be able to do it again from the beginning. No. Bang, 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 bang. And now right here, you notice I follow them down to the ground. My finger's still on the trigger. And take my finger off the trigger and put it on the slide. And then back away. We're going to stop the technique right there. Okay, stop on your feet. Let's do it from the other side. So you can see it from the other angle. All right. Here we go. All right. So again, if you can, you'll see me do the same motion behind my back here. Okay. Bang, 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 bang. And we'll stop there. Stop on your feet. If you have questions about the technique from today, or if you'd like to see a solution for another situation, simply leave it in the comments below this video.
Combat Q&A!
Okay, now it's time for our segment called Combat Q&A. We actually answer your questions. Here we go. All right. Here's a question from one of our viewers. What's a good strike to learn that can be used on the battlefield and not need a lot of specialized conditioning? Want to take this one?
Sure. A good strike that you can use that does not need a lot of conditioning is an elbow strike. It's amazingly powerful. Your body and your elbow naturally align to inflict maximum power. You can break through most targets fairly easily, such as, and I'm going to have Dylan help me here to demonstrate. The point of your chin, which is right here, again, elbow strike. Okay, your sphenoid bone, which is located right here, or your temple. Again, boom. Okay, and then also let me have you turn around. Okay, your third cervical vertebra, which is in the middle of your neck. In this case, if it's a rear attack, grab the chin, deliver the elbow to the third cervical vertebra, dislodging it. Okay. In another situation, like if go ahead and bend over. If I already have them in this position, you can come down with the elbow to the back of the third cervical vertebra. Okay. Now you can also attack your 5th and 6th ribs. Okay. Now from a frontal standpoint, I can just come straight in, boom, 5th and 6th ribs, press them. Okay. And from a rear attack, okay, and grabbing from here, there you go. From a rear attack, it'd just be straight, boom, 5th and 6th ribs, boom. Now another way you can also attack the point of the chin from a rear choke is an elbow uppercut. So here you go, boom. Okay, so you really don't risk breaking much with your elbow, unlike a fist, where you can break your metatarsals and your phalanges, also known as your knuckles and your fingers. Your elbow is naturally strong, so even if you were to dislocate it in a combat scenario, you can still use it to deliver lethal strikes. So for instance, if I had already dislocated my elbow and it's dangling, I can still flip it over and use it as a weapon. So, there you go. Dylan, did you want to add any more to that?
You pretty much covered everything. That was excellent. If you have any other questions, again, doesn't matter how outlandish you think they may be, post them in the comments below and we'll actually answer them on the show. Enjoyed this video? Then do us a huge favor and share it with 2 or 3 military personnel, law enforcement, politicians, civilians that you know might need it. They'll definitely thank you for it. Plus, make sure you subscribe to our channel right now so you don't miss out on our weekly videos. We learn innovative techniques to overcome even the most life-threatening of situations. And before we go, if you love watching action movies and like to see some of our work, go to bestnewactionmovies.com or simply click on the link below this video. Again, I'm Dylan with Phantom Force. Don't miss our next video when we cover Knife Defense Technique 1, Counter Assassination Tactics. See you next video.